Hello, a warm welcome today to Conny Decorates, and of course with Heart, and today again with Heart, Micha, the cameraman. Exactly, the weather is nice, we both have the day off today, and we've really put in the effort to make the terrace beautifully summer ready again. And we've done quite a bit of planting. We have, well, I'll just say terracotta was the theme today. We've incorporated everything with terracotta here, my dears. And if you're interested in this summer theme, INSPIRATION for the terrace, balcony or garden, just stay tuned because we're going to show you now. And these are the things we need today. Here behind me, Micha, maybe you can see it. We can take a step back here. It's a bit chaotic everywhere, but that's how it is when you're tidying up and cleaning. And this is what we have in terms of plants, and relatively mixed up. And there we have the hydrangeas, the carnations, I have blue fescue, I have grass, I have a beautiful clover, back there the candy tuft, another small carnation, so really all mixed up. Back here I also have the incense. And if you see this planter box up front up here in the video description, you can take a look. There's the link. We made 2 boxes now, eh? And these colors are actually the colors we want to have on the terrace. I'll just say purple and pink, and we've taken everything down from the terrace. I would say, let's just go up for a moment. Yesterday we already started, or have already started, to take everything down here. A lot really accumulates. I can only say do it like you do inside. Just take everything out, clean it once, and then piece by piece. That's why the pallets are here on the side. That's where we always sit. We have the pallet cushions and pillows and blankets, and those will go back on later. We removed that, vacuumed nicely, and the old stove, which we had been given as a gift and painted, unfortunately, due to the frost, it came off. It was originally red, but we don't mind that at all. We've now placed it to the side here. Light is coming back in here as well. And on the side of the terrace door, we received a gift from very dear people for our wooden wedding anniversary. They made it themselves for us, and it fits perfectly, of course. So everything will stay as it is. But I would say let's get started. On the opposite wall we always have our willow fences. They are really super rustic and they fit in perfectly here with us. Up here we always have this outdoor string of lights, which is also fantastic. It still provides a really nice coziness here, especially on summer nights. And a little feedback, the little hedgehogs that we released here, I saw them again yesterday. So they come out at dusk, and they also get a bit of food from us, and they are all there and very lively. So these willow fences, Sophie is of course also involved. We placed them here again against the wall on the side. And our painter's ladder, which I took from the bulky waste last year, or rather, I called my colleague because I knew she was either at work or on her way, and she collected it for me and brought it home. And I would like to have this ladder here again in front of our walls. This time I don't want it to be completely straight. I would like to place it a bit askew. We now have the space because I removed the stove from here, and that adds a really nice coziness and a small change. I'll quickly get the boards now. I received some old boards as a gift, and I'll put them in here. Back here I always have this board with the bark in front of it. I just attached it here with a nail. I also find it very beautiful, and I think it fits quite well in the background now. I will simply place it back here between the pasture fences. Here you can also wonderfully hang wreaths with a hook later. I also always have these cast iron hooks hanging here, and you can wonderfully decorate it later. That means we have plenty of space and can create beautiful summer wreaths and summer plantings. That's why we want to give it a bit of a terracotta style. I was thinking terracotta wood. That's why I took everything down here, and we'll just see what comes of it so that everything isn't so mixed up. I have these wine baskets here. We've had them for a really long time. We also have many in the shed. When we pull weeds, they always go into them. That means we always place them all over the garden. But I planted this one, and take a look at it. It's incredible. We once made a film with it. The hostas and the ivy have grown so tall they fit perfectly with the willow fences. And this green now in the background, I think, blends in perfectly. So I carefully place it now so it doesn't get damaged, just back here behind our shelf, which is absolutely optimal now because the ivy tendrils have grown so long. You can now, for example, back here, I have the chain. There you can lay it over. But you can also just place it in the shelf. You can also let it run a bit forward. Just take a look. And basically, when I have the pots on here later, we'll see how we can simply incorporate the ivy into the decoration. The lantern, we had it back in our shed in the film room, and I had one in the garden. They were constantly blown over because they are really not that super stable for the garden. And I think it fits in quite well here now. And here you can really put either a string of lights, an LED light, or even a real wax candle in here wonderfully. We can look out from inside here, and that adds a touch of coziness. Before we continue, I just had a visit at Half Oelkes from the lovely Iris, and I was very pleased about that. But dear Iris, I know that you are an absolute Crete fan, and I would like to ask you, maybe you can find a link to our website in the video description below. If you could just write to us there. I might have someone who would like to share Crete with you. So if you are watching this, we would be very happy. Or feel free to comment. You can just take a look. So, and I would say let's continue. Our DIY plant pot with the bark, we simply placed it here on the apple crate again. And we can always look at it wonderfully. Now we have our apple crates, which you already know. And they are now going to the other side of the terrace, on the wall or against the wall, by our old stable door. The apple crates, I just set it up like this by myself. I placed one straight down here, and the other one I placed at an angle. If you have crates, you should just try out how you have the space, so you can make many variations. I just wanted to add a bit of liveliness here, not just always straight against the wall, but to mix up the crates a bit, upright, sideways, and I really like that. And it's also super stable. And yes, we'll see later what we can do here. We have a lot of terracotta pots. Let's see what we can fit in there. But I would say let's continue. I just got these seagrass rugs, because I gifted myself something for my birthday in December. And that was a very flat table that I got, and it's going here now instead of cushions. That's why we have a few cushions left over here. And it's going on top of that now. I think it's a super cozy setup, and I love this table. But let's continue here. Now the cushion pads and blankets are going on top here. The basic structure is in place. And what I was really happy about, I mentioned I have a second hanging lamp, and we actually did a bit of repair on it. We simply put wire on top because it was quite damaged by the storm. And it fits beautifully back here as well. That means we have two lanterns here. I have all the cushions and blankets. The cats also love to lie here. That's why we have the furs here, so we can shake them out nicely. But I would say let's start with the planting and make it really nice here. Of course, these two wooden stools, we once decorated them. There's even hot glue up here on it. I would like to use it by placing these two terracotta pots up here. That fits quite well. It's a bit wobbly. You could remove it with a knife now. We'll just leave it on for now. And when we made the do-it-yourself pot with the bark, it was relatively thick, and I actually found some bark that day that isn't as thick, which we couldn't use. And I would just like to break it into a few pieces now. And then we do it like with the other pot, just not with wire. You could also do it with wire, but today I want to use up some jute tape and wrap it around here. Fasten it around the wooden trunk, already with the first bark around it. Then it's already quite secure. Then I would like to place the pot on it. And I won't put the bark all the way down, just halfway, so that you can see the tree stump at the bottom. Then I place the next piece of bark around here, practically going around with the jute band, just like I did with the wire before. I keep securing the second piece of bark. And then I take the next piece of bark and simply place it here again and wrap my pot tightly again. And now I've used up all the bark, and I think it's really cool, especially here. When you see the pot, you can easily take it out, you can replant it or whatever you like. There is no waterlogging, it can drain wonderfully. And now I simply cut off the rest of the ribbon and secure it by going through here at the back. I would say here, where I have the gap, and just tie it all together. A few minutes, not much effort at all, and you have a really great natural decoration that also brings wonderful height for your garden, balcony, terrace or entrance. I'm doing the same with the second one now. I really like it. Look, Micha, I've put the daisy in here, and the transition with the pot and bark is great, with the stem below, the beautiful bloom above, and it's so wonderfully easy to care for. I've already sat down over there. Just come down. I just started. I took a little break in the garden, and the Campanula scabiosa are all being planted beautifully now. Also here, the hydrangea, the carnation, the pink with the purple. It's going to create a really great color explosion on our terrace, I think. That's why I'm excited. I'd say, Micha, let the camera roll and let's just start planting. And the clover, I find it so beautiful as well. Maybe you remember we made this beautiful and unique bowl ourselves here. I just took out the bulbs and I'm just going to see if I fill it up a little bit more with soil and some nice fresh moss. We can just add the clover in here. Here is our DIY with our birdhouse. I've put a hydrangea in there for now. Of course, eventually all of this will go into our garden, no question about it. But I think the candy tuft fits perfectly here as well. So I think maybe we can even take the house out, then we'll have more space here. I'm going to make some space here for 2 more plants and fill it up with nice fresh soil. And then we'll have another beautiful splash of color here. Look, now we almost have the last pot here. I had to laugh because the squirrel, they always take the walnuts, and they've hidden them here in our pots because they always go up on our roof in the morning and then they go onto the trees and make themselves comfortable. But I've now placed the walnut back here by the olive tree so they can come and get it. So now we're almost done. This beautiful perennial, yes, it's a scented carnation. I find it so lovely. And this one is going in here again now. I'm already in a total planting frenzy here, but I'll just say it's done. We did that last time. It will be newly stocked with plants and roses from our garden. That's the great base. You can wet it beforehand and then it's wonderful. I got this lantern as a gift, I think, last summer. Yes, from dear Krista. I just added some play sand from the last decoration, a few shells. Now we have a really nice maritime look here. But before we continue with the details, I would say I'll take all the plants we've prepared and just decorate them here now. The 2 shells, I will place them up here by the window because I have to water them carefully anyway, as there's really only a wood chip drainage inside. And I'll just take a look now. Then the incense can grow wonderfully underneath here and on the other side as well. Feel free to check out the online shop, or rather below in the video description you'll find a link to our website. And from there you can reach Hof Oelkes. That's where we have these beautiful plant containers. Did you fill everything, Micha, or? Great, really, it worked out perfectly. And I still have a few boxes here that are empty. And we always have our natural items here, like the tree root. Then, last time I had this terracotta sphere that I received as a gift, which I planted. It was on our shelf. I'll just place it again, or maybe even add it to the planting. I still have a few empty terracotta pots, also the really nice old ones from Spain. I'll decorate with those. Then I have something like a fossil here. I actually got this. We have them at Hof Ulkers, but I once received some from a subscriber made of concrete, and also like these hearts. And I will now just place them everywhere and decorate a bit. Here is a little step, and here it's perfect, especially these narrow little houses, which are absolutely a highlight at the moment, I think. And I'll just place them here in the front as well. And up here I also have a bit of space. And there a little wooden house will also go in. Then a few stones that I have. Also the homemade piece with the tree bark, which we layered with the cordless screwdriver on top of this wooden log, is now a really beautiful decorative element. I'll place that down here as well. I put an outdoor snail on it in a small pot. You can also add a little ivy here, and it fits wonderfully. Now we still have our firewood, which I will fill again just here in 2 or 3 gaps. I also have a great birch branch here, and you can also create a truly wonderful natural height by placing it on top here. But let's just see where we can absolutely decorate. And of course, we hope that we could inspire you today with some small ideas. Exactly, now we really have, I would say, real potential to implement decoration ideas again, whether it's up here in terms of height or here on our terrace. We have a foundation here. So, dear ones, we look forward to decorating with and for you again in the coming days. Feel free to follow us on Facebook, Instagram and Pinterest. Exactly, there are always little reels and of course shorts coming up. Dear ones, feel warmly hugged, stay healthy, and I'll say see you soon. Your Conny and your Micha, your cameraman. Exactly. Dear ones, until then, goodbye.